Hey guys, welcome to Trending Now. I hope you are all well. Now, a young woman alleges that Austin Mcbroom cheated on his wife with her and she's dropping receipts. I'm going to insert the
Does
video.
she know that you message every single girl on Instagram trying to get in their...
So I'm sure by the last video you know exactly who I'm about to talk about. Anyway, so a couple months ago, I get a DM from him on Instagram, just asking me if he could send me stuff from his clothing brand, and I was like, of course. Like, I knew who he was. Like, I had never talked to a celebrity. Like, I was pretty new to doing like collabs and stuff at the time, so I was like, oh my gosh, he really just messaged me. Like, I was just like stoked. So here was our conversation on Instagram. I mean, it was just typical like collab DM. I did find it a little weird and unnecessary that he needed to text me afterwards. So we text. He asks me if I'm going to be in LA anytime soon. And I'm like, yeah, I can be in LA if it means you personally hand me the package, of course. So I go to LA by myself. And I'm going to have to do part two. So here's part two. So I get to LA. I'm staying in a hotel completely by myself. We're texting a little bit throughout the day, like, you know, kind of like seeing what I'm like, I keep asking what the plans are later and like what exactly we're doing. And he kind of just keeps beating around the bush and not being direct and just kind of vague, which really bothers me. I'm like the type to like want to know what we're doing. And so like we were supposed to meet at like 6, and then it got pushed to 7, then 8. And then I texted him at 9, like, okay, what is the deal? Like, I was like, why are we meeting so late? You know? Like, when he said spot in Malibu, I was like, what does that even mean? Spot? Like, restaurant? Like, what? You know? But anyways, he picks me up in the blue Rolls Royce that everyone knows. So I'm like, okay, so it shouldn't be anything fishy. Like, he's not trying to be sneaky about it, whatever. And then where do we pull up? To a house. A house in Malibu. And I was like, oh my God. Like, for part 3. All right, part 3. So we pull up to a house, and I'm like, have I really been this naive to not know that this was what it was the entire time? Anyways, at this point, I'm still kind of oblivious, and I'm just like, okay, you know, maybe we're just talking business. Because in the car, we had just talked about, like, other brand deals he might get me and all these other things, and I was just excited, you know? So we get inside. He just kind of keeps asking me about me, and, like, just, like, it seemed like he was just, like, trying to get to know me, and I was just, like, doing the same. So I knew it was like not completely business when he turned on Netflix and we were just watching Netflix on the couch, like just talking and stuff. And I'm just like, what the? And then he like grabs a blanket and just like has a blanket on himself. At this point, we're like not close together at all. And he like it tells me like come over and like lay with him. And I'm just like, hey, look, like I'm really trying to do business. That's what I thought this was. Like for part 4 though. Okay, part 4. So he's like, no, like. He kind of gets a little defensive and he's like, no, like, I got you. Like, we are going to do business. Like, this is business. I'm like, okay. Like, and it was just civil. Like, it wasn't weird after that. Like, it was just fine. And blah, blah, blah. He takes me back. And, like, on the way back, by the way, like, some fans of his were, like, recording us from a car and, like screaming. And I was like, and he was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. And I was just like, oh. So, me being still, like, dumb and naive to the whole situation, we hang out again the next night. Only this time, he asks me to Uber. But yeah, it was definitely the same spot. So like last time, I mean, he's talking about like me, kind of talking about business and like what we're going to do together, like as far as brand deals. So it ended up being the same scenario. He tries cuddling me again. And I'm like, look, I don't know what type of girl you think I am, but like, then he tries telling me that him and his wife aren't really together, all this other stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to do part 5. Okay, so part 5, yeah, so he starts telling me like, him and his wife aren't really together. It's just for publicity, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like believing it. I'm just being naive, like as can be, just believing everything he's feeding me. And here's where I'm a little ashamed. We did end up doing the thing, okay? Don't judge me, but I did. So, long story short, he's like, now I'm gonna be obsessed, blah, blah, blah. And he actually ended up paying me like $800 for one of the brands that he said he was gonna like hook me up with like ahead of time, which was really weird to me. So after the fact, I just kept hearing stories from other people that this is like what he does with girls and like all these other things. And I was just like disgusted with myself, disgusted with him. So this is him asking me to hang out again, blah, blah, blah. I didn't. Definitely gonna have to do part 6. That's where the real tea is gonna be. I really dragged this out. It really was not intentional, but okay, part 6. Anyways, he had hit me up multiple times after. Have not hung out with him since. He always asks me to link. I could show you all the screenshots, but like, really, what good does it do? It's really no proof that it's him. I'm not gonna put his number on here, but the real screenshot is this one. So this is after, like, you know, various times of me like not responding or just like being short. And this top message says, I live in LA now. I can't remember what was before that. But anyway, blah, blah, you can read it. The real kicker is this. It must have been bad for you, because he would never talk about the fact that we did it on text. Being smart of him. But yeah, he said that. And then, nope, just bad for my morals, because facts. He still hits me up to this day. And here's the real proof that it's really him.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos.
Don't you